Episode 11 doesn't waste any time. Lord and Lady Briarwood are atop the ziggurat structure, about to enter in so they can commence with their ritual. Vox Machina show up and we learn that the Whispered One is an undead being trying to cross over into this plane. If they don't get renewed to finish all of the arcs of Vox Machina, I'm going to riot, because I need to see out the Whispered One storyline. Being as quiet as they can, trying to get the jump on the Briarwoods, Ripley tries to convince Percy to leave with her. Denying her, she uses the importance of silence by the group to walk away. Orthax trying to take over Percy and force him to kill Ripley, he fights with himself, his inner rage, so that way he won't give up the group's position. However, fully enraged though letting Ripley escape, he reveals himself and begins heading up straight toward the Briarwoods, and the head-to-head battle breaks out. And I mean, shit just gets intense from here. Pike fighting just looks freaking amazing. I mean, look at this battle with Silas and her. Scanlan is silenced by Delilah. Gotta take care of those spellcasters in any battle. Watching Vex and Vax fight just hurts so much, especially after reading through the Kith and Kin novel recently. Silas is just a beast. Every moment in this fight with him, he's freaking intense. I mean, look at this hit that he puts on Keyleth. Pike steps in and protects Scanlan, but is then pinned down between him and Lady Briarwood. The turmoil inside of Percy fighting Cassandra is painful to watch. Silas slices into Percy, and Cassandra finally begins to see the error of her ways through memories of her childhood with Percy, but that is soon dealt with through a quick charm, and then she is back in the battle trying to murder her only brother. Vox Machina are in a bind and things look bad. Keyleth speaks with the Sun Tree, begs for its help. It begins to wrap its vines, its roots around her, and there she stands, the powerful druid in all her glory, tapping into the nature surrounding her, stepping up to finally become the light that the group needs. Vox Machina begin to counter. Pike blasts Delilah, ending her silence on Scanlan. Grog steps in for his rematch with Silas, and the Barbarian landing a blinded attack on the vampire, and we finally get a real man hug between the two of them as Keyleth powers up, and fuck me, the animation is so good in this episode. Blasting Silas with pure sunlight, Lady Briarwood tries to protect him, but gets a taste of her own medicine as she is silenced by Scanlan. With Silas dead, Orthax infuriated at losing his kill, Delilah screams in agony, breaking through the silence, and moves towards the temple. We get the iconic line from Lady Briarwood about them breaking the world for each other, and to me, that's an iconic line of the Briarwoods, and yet it feels as if though it was pushed aside. Beginning her casting to bring the Whispered One to the world, Vox Machina break into the room. Percy is well and truly gone now, moving past the group, charging in, taking shots at Delilah, desperate to murder her. Vex steps in, taking her shot, striking at her. A violent blast of necrotic energy erupts towards Vex, and Keyleth jumps in, taking the hit, now on death's door. The ritual ends, and we get a glimpse of the Whispered One. The spinning orb of death appears, and the ritual seems to have failed. Keyleth now dying. Pike goes over to heal her, but is ripped from her avatar form. Episode 11 is full of action, and I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed every moment of it. The battle between Pike, any scene with Pike fighting is honestly so good. It's actually realistically the kind of animation and the kind of brutal battle that I kept expecting to see whenever we saw Grog fighting, and yet I feel like we haven't really seen the Barbarian truly exert himself, except maybe in episode 2 with the dragon. Now, other great things that I really enjoyed is, though it feels very rushed, and unfortunately, yes, the episodes have to be because of how long they are, it was really cool seeing the animations of Percy battling with Orthax, the half and half of Percival and Orthax against each other in the battle with Cassandra was just so brutal to watch, as well as watching the twins fight, which I mentioned before. Overall, it was a really good episode. I think one of my biggest complaints is just that line of they'd break the world for each other. It was really kind of put aside, but it is the iconic line of the Briarwoods, so I wish they took a bit more time. I wish that when Delilah was screaming out in agony, that she was screaming that line, I guess. I just needed a bit more from it. But overall, beautiful episode, beautiful animation, and it left us on a really good cliffhanger. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 trinkets. And now we're at the very end. There's one episode to go. So until then, comment below your thoughts, go roll some dice, and I'll see you in the final episode of The Legend of Vox Machina.